All right, that brings us to the next topic. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is JIBRIN Angle coming to you on Oweleke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and we have our guest that we've been having a very robust discussion with, Barrister Austin Manta, a very senior lawyer of over 4 decades. And we have another senior journalist with us who is also a regular guest on this show. Mr. Shegun Onibio. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for holding on to this program. And let's go to the next topic. What are the possible reasons? Now, that brings us to the problem that we are facing as a country, as a nation, and citizens of this great nation called Nigeria. What do we think? Let's start with Shegun. What do you think is or are the possible reasons why Nigeria is bereaved of good leadership?
All right. Clearly, we keep we claim to be a religious country, but a lot of us believe that it is God that will solve our problems. But there's a reason why God created human beings and gave them brains. There is a reason some of the countries who are not even religious, like China, Japan, Russia, and co, are better advanced. Why? Because they use their God-given talents. It is not that we lack this in Nigeria. Just like I wrote on my Facebook wall this morning. Nigeria is so blessed, but cursed with leadership. Barrister Manta said something in his closing remark about what he expects from the NIA and co. You see, it is always very easy for people to appoint people. It is another thing for the people to do what you expect them to do. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. And that's one of the reasons why we have problems in this country. When we employ people, we expect them to be loyal to us, not loyal to the work, to the agency they represent, and the country. And that is where we keep getting it wrong. As long as people who are appointed to position of authority are appointed out of nepotism, maybe religion or ethnicity, they would not serve the purpose for which they are put there. It is not just happening in NIA and DSS. It is happening in even lower organizations and agencies of government, where people think their interest is to protect whoever has appointed them there. Imagine a media organization, I'm not going to mention their name here, that would insist that you don't, as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, say anything that is wrong about the government. You have no right as a citizen, because you work for them, to see something wrong and report it. Then what the hell are you doing representing that organization?
Hold on, Shegun. Why won't you? This is important. Why won't you mention name? It's important. If a media organization is actually a kind of being a shadow government, a shadow government for the current what administration? Why won't you name names? If somebody does something, they say open rebuke is better than secret love. What is the problem? Let's hear the name.
You will get to hear the name, because I'm coming up with something. And I don't want to preempt what I'm coming up with, because it's already in court. And we have told them clearly, in clear terms, although they don't want it, they will be thoroughly embarrassed. You will get to hear the name. You would love it when you get to hear about it. You would love it, because I have said to them, one of the best ways to clean this country is to start from the bottom. That's one of the, unless you and I as citizens agree that we have a problem, that only is the only time we will come up with leadership that can move this country forward. We have said it over and over again. Unless we have a plan that is common to everybody, we are not going to have progress in this country. If you don't have a blueprint for the country, there is no way this country can go forward. Imagine a situation where okay, just like you asked me now. Ordinarily, I'm supposed to say, oh, XYZ is the person I'm talking about, and they should address themselves. Look, Before you know what is going on, they will tell you the matter is in court. Why are you mentioning our name on public space in a media forum? Then it becomes an issue. Barrister Mata will know what I'm talking about. When it comes to law, they will tell you it is in court. You're not supposed to be discussing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we will continue to go in this circle until we admit that we are sick and we need thorough check and we need a cure. Not just a cure, something that is going to preempt some of these diseases from catching up with us and putting us down. It is not that we lack leadership. These people, look, these people that we are talking about that are corrupt, that are nepotists, people who are into kidnapping and terrorism, who are chopping our money as a country, who have put us where we are now, are very few. What they have is the control of the powers that be, the security agencies, the money, the wherewithal. The president that we're talking about now, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has not done anything extraordinary aside from using the media. There are some media executives who would see the truth and tell you to turn a blind eye. Why? Because they don't want you exposing too much. And that is what we have to, because the information is power. If we have the information, it is not that Nigerians don't even have the information. It is what we do with the information we have. I have some of my colleagues who are in the media profession who would rather sell information to the highest bidder than use it to expose corruption, to correct the ills in the society. So it has to start from us as individuals before we now, because this leadership that we're talking about, they come from us. Buhari, Tinubu, Goodluck Jonathan, Obasanjo, and Yaradua did not fall from the moon. They came from amongst us. So unless we have a plan that everybody can work with, not that you will come as Jibrin and work with your plan, but Samantha will come as Manta and work with his plan. Segun Onibiyo will come as Segun Onibiyo and work with his plan until we work with a plan that is common to all of us, that says this is the Federal Republic of Nigeria and this is how we want to go. We will continue to have the problems. It is not that we don't have the brains to correct all of these ills. It is because
Can
we
you
don't
pronounce
have
your
the
name again? I always forget to. Can you pronounce your last name again, Shagun?
Onibiyo. The man who has found this
Oh, okay.
place is he rejoices or is happy.
Onibiyo. Okay. Did I
Onibiyo,
get it right?
Onibiyo, Onibiyo,
Onibiyo. Onibiyo.
Onibiyo.
Onibiyo. Okay.
So until we agree that leadership must come from amongst us, but before we must bring out leadership from amongst us, we must have a plan for the man to work with. You must have a plan for a man to work. If you don't have any plan, where are we going as a country? That's one of the reasons why I keep saying the genesis of our problem is from the foundation. When I hear people talk about the story of Udoji, how Gowon shared oil money, I sit down and I marvel. People are, no, that was when I bought my first car. That was when I was given my first house. That was when I married 2 wives. Nobody was thinking about what is going to happen 50 years after. And that is why we are in this mess that we are in. That's my submission.
All right, thank you so much for that. Even I think you and I are on the same page on that. I will be talking more about that. Barrister, please, can you have your take on this? What do you think is a? I think we have discussed similar thing in the past with you on this platform. Um, what do you think? Well, all of us, I think we both profile different or whatever, but I think we have much worse situation here than what we initially would blame the judiciary, blame the executive, blame the politicians, blame the INEC, blame or whatever. I think it's far deeper than that, sort of. So, what's your opinion on this? What is the reason? Again, the question is, why is Nigeria bereaved of good leadership? Are we truly cursed? Yeah. Yeah. Can you say that again? You said what system? What will have to come? Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you so much. I think the three of us are on the same page. I think that is just it. It goes beyond heads of agencies and government institutions. That is just, it's a foundational issue, and that you have said, both of you have said it all. However, I think the solution lies with us as Nigerians, because the system has been so balkanized. Is the corruption, the nepotism, everything that has to do with bad governance is entrenched in Nigeria. Unfortunately, it's entrenched. Even both military, and I am an advocate. I'm more of an advocate of military governance than democracy. But even this issue of rot is also in the military, because everything starts from the foundation. The country, first and foremost, when the country was born, what our founding fathers, the Saudanas, the Nnamdi Azikiwes, the Awolowo, what were they? What was their intention for the country? Did they have sincere and genuine intention for the country? Do they have a purposeful intention for the country? No. The three of them, what they did was just the foundation. First, it was a collusion. A part of the country colluded with the West, which was our colonial master, the Britain. Then, to actually kind of give us a very, very bad foundation. That, like I said, when the foundation is faulty, there is nothing you can do. You build on a bad foundation, on the wrong foundation, that building will eventually have a crack in the future, either crack or total collapse, a sort of. So that's exactly what is happening. The foundation was laid between the three major regions in Nigeria, and the white and the British colonial masters, sort of. So, and the British colonial masters were the one actually who sowed this discord, who sowed this evil foundation on us, sort of. So, and that is where the problem started from, and as a result of that, it trickled down to every other institution, every other, because the foundation, actually, the strength of the foundation determines the strength of the building, how strong the building will be. And that is exactly what we are suffering today, unfortunately. And on the way forward, just like Barrister noted, we what we need at this juncture is a kind of a higher power coming to play right now, because there is no amount of election, no amount of revampment that can actually, because it's entrenched, is rooted in the entire system. That we have come to a point where just changing heads can no longer work. It can no longer work, and it's all through the chain, the entire chain of command, the entire chain of process, chain of everything that has to do with chain administration or whatever, from the beginning to the end up, well, excuse me, they are all corrupted. So I think what we need now is a revolution. I don't know, anything short of that. Honestly, we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere. I mentioned my other previous segments. I've talked about the military. That is the modest option. There are two. I gave two options. One, the military. The second one, a violent revolution. Then, now the military is, I think, in my own opinion, is a softer way. It's a soft landing. Let me call it soft landing. But even at that, the military government that must take over, that will take over, must be a purposeful military government. Must be ready actually to shed blood, because again, if we have to do something something drastic, if we have to make a change for Nigeria, we have to do something drastic, and that drastic is actually people, the establishment. The problem is that you mentioned, Barrister, you mentioned money. Yes, money. This is one of the reasons why, several reasons why I abhor democracy, because democracy is about money. It is how rich you are. It's not only in Nigeria, even in the US now. Honestly, it has nothing. It has little to do with the people contributing $1 and $2. Let me be frank with you. It is the money bags. Even in the US now, it is the money bags that are ruling. The people they are the ones actually calling the shots behind the scene. A sort of that's a different thing, different topic for another day. We will definitely be treating that. And so you talk about money. The truth is, honestly, it's more of institutions. And when you talk of institutions of government, you talk about the establishment. The establishment in government are the major problem we have. Now, even the Tinubu that spent his money or whatever, let me be frank with you. Yes, he spent his money, he bought his way, he paid his way to the presidency. But I assure you, there are people who may not be as rich as he is, who probably did not contribute that much financially to his campaign, but they are very powerful that he cannot step on. And these people are in a cycle, and that cycle is called establishment. In every government all over the world, there is what we call establishment politicians. That you just can't run away. People like that, they are the ones that cause the show. They are the shadow government of any government. And the same thing is this is a prevalent factor in Nigeria, facing Nigeria today. So whether Tinubu spent his money or not, yes, his money is one of it, but the truth is that he also needs the establishment. What we need to dismantle is the establishment, and that is where the military comes to play. The establishment. If the military does not do that or cannot do that, that is where we may be faced with a violent revolution that will be much, much deadly, much more worse than anyone could ever think about. That I don't expect us to go that route. But if it becomes a necessity, why not? Because Nigeria has to be better. We have to get better than what we are doing right now. So, and that is where the establishment is where the military. We need a very courageous military man to actually do this needful and flush out. They know the establishment. Everyone, if they are taking power, they know who is who in the establishment. That is what we need. Those establishment are the ones actually perpetrating this evil. They're not perpetrating, they are perpetuating this evil from the foundation. They are the ones now actually on the script. Our founding fathers actually wrote the script, and the establishment are the ones actually peddling, driving, piloting the script. So this establishment has to be eliminated. When the establishment is eliminated, the script will be rewritten. That is the point. And apart from, if this is not done, Nigeria, it will remain the same vicious cycle where soldier come, soldier go. Barrack will remain the same, unfortunately. I don't know if any of you have any other thing to chip in. Otherwise, we'll move to the next topic. Okay, no one else. All right, I think we're done with this topic, and that is just it, unfortunately. Nigeria can never get it right until we get it right. We will never get it right until we get it right, and we need to get it right. And I've always said it: the two possible ways to get it right are two different. A military takeover, a very, very patriotic and purposeful military group should take over, or else we will have no option but to be faced with a violent revolution, unfortunately. So that being said, let's move to the other topic. I don't know if Segun has any other thing to say. Otherwise, we'll move to the next topic.
I think for me, I think we have hammered all of this. And I would want to see in the nearest future that all of these issues, all of these matters that we have raised will be used or included in a form of policy that will help this country arise. You see, the truth is what you have said here, what Barrister Manta have said here, what we have said here. I prefer a military rule or better still a revolution, because what we are doing here is just patching and painting the building. Dismantle the building. Yeah. Rebuild from why are we afraid? Why are we afraid of because I keep telling people the war we are avoiding now, our children will fight the war. One
That
day,
is it.
you are beginning to see what is happening now. People are beginning to be so bold to come out and call out some other ethnic groups and call out religious leaders and insult them publicly. Very soon, you are going to be seeing people put people down based on these reasons. And unless we do something about it now, revolution now, if we don't do that immediately to ensure that this country returns back to its foundation and rebuild, we are going to have a serious situation in our hands that even the elite will not be able to answer. Because when the poor becomes hungry and there's nothing to eat, he will eat the rich man.
That is it.
That's
That is
my
it.
conclusion.
All right, thank you so much for that. Let's move to the next topic, and